Welcome to Southern Flame TV, the talk show where we chop it up with the hottest artists, DJs, entrepreneurs, pace setters, movers, and shakers out of Jackson, Mississippi and surrounding areas. Today, we're about to get it in with Mr. Franklin, aka Kamikaze. He's an MC, entrepreneur, Renaissance man, because the man's into everything. Media, he's a writer for the Jackson Free Press. Hey, I can't even tell you all. He about to tell you what the business is. So here Lyle, put his name in them flames and do what you do, and meet me in the booth. Welcome to Southern Flame, the talk show where we chop it up with the hottest artists, DJs, entrepreneurs, pace setters, movers, and shakers out of Jackson, Mississippi and surrounding areas. And today, we're kicking with the big homie Kamikaze.
It's good.
Now, Kamikaze is one half of the critically acclaimed hip-hop duo Crooked Letters with David Banner. Nearly 20,000 copies sold independently. Award winner of Mississippi's first Patiently Waiting Award for Ozone Magazine. 3 Southern Entertainment Music Awards, and 4 Jackson Music Awards. Homie, you making moves.
And I'm trying, man. Just glad to be a part of this Mississippi thing, man. Glad to be a part of the movement, whether you say it's old or new, but glad to be, one of, as they say, the pioneers of this music thing, man. Been doing it for a minute, but we're gonna keep doing it until the wheels fall off, man. That's what we're gonna do.
That's right. That's right. So I know you've probably been rapping for a long time, man. Just for the people who don't know you, because we got viewers outside of Jackson that don't know nothing about it. This is the movement in the city, man. Tell us where it all started.
I mean, it's just too many pieces to really pinpoint, where it began. You talk about Wildlife Society, you talk about Crooked Letters, you talk about those being the first 2 artists to get played on radio stations here in the city of Jackson. There was a time that there was a program director here before that we have one now. He made a vow that rap music would never get played on the station. When that finally happened, what happened was Wildlife Society, Crooked Letters was able to break through, but you got Renegades, you got Bigelow, you got the whole Too Black, Too Strong movement, Valley of the Dry Bone, Shaking Those Sounds, DJ Howie House, Sleepy Devils, DJ Slam, Asiatic Black, DJ Fingerprint, Charlie Braxton, of course, Us From Dirt. You got a lot of people, man, that were a part of, putting this scene together and a part of building this movement, man. And then, to see where it's gone and to see where it is now, where it's potentially going in the future, man, is something that I'm really excited about. And having been there at the beginning in its infancy and to see where it is now and still be a part of it is an honor, of course, now, because now I can talk about how I began, but I can also talk about my part in taking it into this new millennium and taking it even further back past this point. Like I said, we're doing this music until the wheels fall off.
Okay, with that said, now I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota, born and raised. I came to Mississippi in '95. My family's from here, but we always had that. When we looked at Mississippi, we always looked at Mississippi like Mississippi burning. Prejudice, white folks don't like us. Right. So even with that music, what were the obstacles that you had to go through just to get this rap thing just?
A lot of people don't understand, man. Being from Mississippi, it was a badge of honor for us. But a lot of people don't understand the obstacles that me and Banner had to go through before we got our first record deal. Back in the day when people were getting deals on demo tapes, people were getting deals from all of the conventional ways that you can get deals before social media, before Twitter, before Facebook, before you had the opportunity to make YouTube videos. We experienced people throwing our demo tapes in the trash when they saw that it was from Mississippi. We experienced people, downing the potency of the music because we were from Mississippi. There were even artists here, and I'm guilty of it, that when we first started rapping, we tried to emulate the people that we saw on TV, just to kind of mask the fact that we were from Mississippi. Because at the time, East Coast rap was the most dominant thing, and West Coast rap came in. It wasn't until the Ghetto Boys and Outkast, you know, stood up and made us proud to say that we were from the South that people really start, you know, feeling this Southern movement and being impressed with the music that was coming from here. So, you know, Batter and I were at the forefront of this Southern movement. We were at the forefront of people from the South getting record deals and being on these major labels and being on Penalty, being on Tommy Boy Records, being on Warner Brothers. You know, it was crazy because people had preconceived notions about us. People had thoughts and stereotypes, much like yourself. People from the North thought that we were still riding on horses and riding on gravel roads. They thought the Klan still rode around. They thought it was everything that they had seen.
That's what the media
put out through the media. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, once they were able to come here and kind of see what was actually happening and what was actually going on, then their perception changed. But ironically, people still think like that. Ironically, people still see Southern videos and they have a concept of what the South is. It's not all country. You know, Jackson is an urban metropolitan city. It's the capital. It's the capital of Mississippi. So at the same time, when people come down here, they'll see that we're just as much city as any place else is. But we have country and we have Southern sensibilities about us. But it's just an urban setting.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, listening to your music. If you're someone who is just a fan or just someone who just took the time to listen to you, they would see that you're more than just a rapper. You get deep, like in your song Running. Man, talk to me about that song.
Well, the first thing that I want to make sure that everybody knows out there, I'm not a rapper. I'm an MC. And there's a difference between MCs and rappers. I don't like rappers. I don't deal with rappers per se. I'm an MC. I have MC sensibilities. I am someone who understands the tenements of hip-hop, which is MCing, breaking, graffiti, DJing. I am somebody that understands that concept, man, the culture of hip-hop that I grew up in. I'm not somebody that just spits lyrics because it's financially viable for them to do so. An MC is somebody that will do what they do regardless of whether or not they're getting paid for it or if they're gaining fame from it. So we don't have a lot of MCs in the game now. It might not be that many MCs in Mississippi per se. There's a lot of rappers, but you know, we are not of the same kind, MCs and rappers. The concept behind Running was basically 3 verses and putting myself in the mindset of black men at different stages of history. The first verse was me putting myself in the mind of a black man in the hull of a slave ship being brought over here from another country. The second verse, I put myself in the mindset of the black gentleman who was with Schwern and Goodman in Philadelphia, Mississippi, which is my mother's hometown during the Civil Rights era, the 3 civil rights workers that were killed and buried in Philadelphia, Mississippi. The second verse is written from the perspective of James Chaney. The third verse is written from the perspective of the everyday black man in today's society, and I wrote that during the Bush administration. So that song basically says that no matter what point in history that we are in, and no matter where we are as black people, we're still considered to be black people, or, you know, the N-word as people, you know, consider us to be. And no matter where we are, no matter what we have, no matter what we've achieved in life, black men are still going to always be running in some shape, form, or fashion. So, I mean, you know, we started out running when we came over here, when slaves tried to escape and go through the Underground Railroad during the Civil Rights era. We were running from dogs, we were running from hoses, and even now, we're running from police. You know, we're running from, you know, racial, political, you know, economic oppression. So it doesn't matter where we are and whatever generation it is, if you are an African American, you're going to be running in some shape, form, or fashion. So that's really how that song came about, man. And it's something that I wrote a lot of years ago, but it's still relevant, and it's going to go on a new project because it's something that a lot of people haven't heard yet, and it's something that they need to hear. And, you know, I try to make people think all the time. Outside of just, you know, being an MC and wanting to make sure that my lyrics on point, and outside of me wanting to spit, I also want to make sure that at some point, you know, I can educate and insight in what it is that I'm doing. So that's one of my deepest records and one of my most favorite records. And you know, I want to make sure that the world, you know, gets a chance to hear it on a much larger scale when we do this new project.
That's stuff. Well, since you know, set the stage for that, talk to me about Taco records.
Well, Tacos for Breakfast is part of a trilogy of projects. You know, I had actually, honestly, I had semi-retired. You can say retired from doing music. I felt that I had done all that I needed to do in the game. I had, you know, been around the country. I had been around the world doing music, been on TV, put out albums, done everything that anybody that's wanted to get into this business was able to do. And I was content with being a husband and a father. And I was content with my other business ventures, whether it would be Dreams, or whether it be working with Ferris Street, or whether it be writing my column, or any of my other endeavors with my media company, doing TV shows, doing radio shows. I was going to be my strange addiction, kind of, you know, on the heels of the cable TV show, My Strange Addiction. And that's going to kind of be to kind of tell people, when you have a love for this thing called hip-hop, you know, it's an addiction that a lot of people can't understand. I have an addiction for hip-hop. You know, I love it. I love being a part of it. I love being around it. I love performing it. It's something that's embedded in me, and people might not understand it. They may not understand the fact that even as you get older, even as you have kids, even as you're married, if it's in you, it's something that will never leave you. It's not going anywhere. So this is something that, as long as I'm consistently able to do it and do it at a high level, then it's something I'm going to do. And of course, the third installment is going to be the official album, which is going to be Tacos for Breakfast. And Tacos for Breakfast, basically, it's saying sometimes you wake up wanting something different. And people are now awakening, and they are wanting something different. So it's kind of like getting up and saying, I want tacos for breakfast. And that's what this album is going to be. It's going to be a return to what people, you know, remember from Crooked Letters. I always get the streets and I always get the clubs, you know what I'm saying, something. Because, you know, even at my lowest points, the streets and the clubs supported Kamikaze and what I did. But I have to return and give the people who are fans of Crooked Letters, I got to return and give them what I came into this game doing. And I got to give them something different, because right now, the industry is primed for something different, so I got to give them something different. So thus the term Tacos for Breakfast. That's going to be the album, and hopefully by the fall that'll be ready. And then really after that, brother, we'll just see how it goes. This may be the last project. It might not. It just depends on how it goes. We're going to go on out the road. We're going to tour, and we're going to see what the support is for these records, man, and see if people miss Kamikaze. And if so, then this is something that we can keep going forward with. But you know, ultimately, we're just really here to put Mississippi on the map, man. Really, hopefully, you know, me getting back into this thing, man, is going to help to shine some light on a lot of these young cats that are really doing their thing, man.
That's what's up. Let me share something with y'all about my man right here, Mr. Franklin. Mr. Franklin also serves as president of the Mississippi Artists and Producers Coalition. He's chairman of the Jackson Progressive Advisory Board of Downtown Jackson Partners. He's board member of the Crossroads Film Society and board member of the Ferris Street Main Street organization. This is a real Renaissance man right here. The man is getting it in. Now, with all that said, every episode I do something called Square Toes and High Heels.
Okay.
So that's when we just get on some grown folk business and try to impart into the people.
Okay.
And we've really been doing this the whole episode.
Right.
But I was just gonna focus on, my word was game related. Game, not game, G-A-M-E, game, information.
Right.
And in order for you to get to be in all these positions, to get all these accolades, to be able to do this, you had to have some information, exactly, which is education.
Exactly.
And this is something I want to stress to everybody out there. Ain't nothing wrong with getting education, because you get paid based upon information. There's no way this man could be part owner of this club and do all the things that he's done and travel without education. The music game, they put a mask over your eyes a lot of times, and they preach one thing, but it's something different behind the camera. A lot of these artists, they rap one thing, but they totally different behind that camera.
Right.
So for you young folks that don't know what's going on, I want my man to just shoot you something. I want him to tag team on this. I'm throwing you the alley-oop.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm gonna take that from you. To be perfectly honest with you, the difference between black folks in the majority society that exists right now is access to information. That's the biggest difference and the biggest hindrance to black folks these days, is the access to information. Not that, you know, the majority culture is any smarter, than most of us. Not that they work any harder. Of course, they want to offer you the illusion and the idea that black people are lazy, that we are shiftless, that we have a victim mentality, that we don't want to work. Of course, that's them trying to create a narrative for society. But in actuality, the difference between us and them is the access to information, the ability to have that information and be able to put that information into proper use, to be able to open businesses, to be able to open schools, to be able to have generational wealth for themselves and their family. It's that access to information that we don't have. It's that access to education that we don't have. What society teaches you at large and what the music industry teaches you at large is how to be an indentured servant. When you go to school for 4 years and you get that degree, when you're in college, you're being taught how to take your knowledge and go work for someone else and make money for someone else. What I always talk to kids about is being able to be an entrepreneur and being able to work for yourself. In most instances, you go into a job where you know as much or more than the person who is supervising you or is your boss. Why not be able to take that knowledge and be able to put that into your own company? The reason why black folks are not able to do that is because they don't have access to the same information. To be able to take that knowledge that they have and be able to start their own business, to be able to incorporate their own business, to be able to develop a tax ID number for their business and really put a competent business plan together and start doing what they do. It's the lack of access to information. And as I talk to artists all the time, the main thing that's most important is that if you're making music, if you're doing music, you are operating as an entity unto yourself. Why would you go out and why would you sell your services and sell your soul and become a servant and a worker for somebody else who's going to give you pennies on the dollar for your work that you've done the work for? It comes down really basically at the end of the day to deciding whether or not you want to be famous or you want to be rich. And that's the question that I ask a lot of artists when I talk to them. Do you want to be famous or do you want to be rich? And in most cases, a lot of the cats that I talk to really actually, when you break it down, even though they might say otherwise, they really actually want to be famous. They want to go sit on the couch on 106 Park. They want people to see them on MTV jams. They want to be able to jump to the front of the line in the club. They want to be able to sit in VIP. They want to be able to drink Moet. And then they want to be able to go back to the hotel room after getting on stage. And they want to be able to get with 5 or 6 different groups. That's all they want to do. And the illusion of it is that you can do that. And you can have all the fun in the world. And you can do that for years. And at the end of a 5 or 6 year period, if you're doing all of that, you've watched somebody else take the lion's share of your money. And that's why you have a lot of these artists who you've seen who are successful and have been successful. That's why you see a lot of them bankrupt. You see a lot of them broke. You see a lot of them not having control of their publishing at the end of the day because they were sold the illusion on what it means to be an artist. And it boils down to whether or not you want to be famous or you want to be rich. I personally decided that I wanted to be financially stable. Fame for me is a fleeting thing because regardless of how much money you got when people are done dealing with you, they're done dealing with you. So if you want to be a viable artist, in my estimation, learn a business model, put a business model together and learn what it is that you're doing with your business, operate as a label, operate as a business, and then you're making a sustainable model for yourself and your family for years to come, something that you can pass down to your kids. Black folks, you know, the difference in white folks and black folks, as I say all the time, most white people die, and when they die, they're leaving either a trust fund, money, or they're leaving land, or they're leaving something of value to their kids. Most black people die, and they leave their family with bills. So it's one legacy opposed to another legacy. Generational wealth is the ability to be able to, when you pass on, there's something for you to be able to pass down to your kids, and that comes from smart planning beforehand. Or you can be like most black people and you die and you leave your kids trying to figure out how they're going to even bury you, and then after that there's nothing left. So each generation begins over and over again. When you talk about a city like Jackson, it's 80% African American, and we only own 10% of the wealth in the city. And most of the black people that have money inside of this city are first generation rich people, which means that their fathers were poor and brought them up to this point, and then they were able to build wealth for themselves. So the question is, what's going to happen with these first generation millionaires and where it's going to go from there? So it goes a lot deeper than music, brother. Like, music is just something that scratches the surface, and it's something for me that helped me get from point A to point B. I use music. I didn't let music use me. At the end of the day, music is something that I can do when I want to, where I want to, and now I can do it how I want to do it. It doesn't control me. So I use it as a means to be able to assimilate into some other things, and that's really what I'm trying to stress to our young men to be able to do now, is to become Renaissance men, and that's being able to become very well versed in a lot of different trades. Because if you're not, then you're making yourself expendable. You got to make yourself an asset and not a liability. That's liabilities at the end of the day get cut off. Assets, you know, those are the ones that get to stick around. So, you know, in music and life and business, make yourself an asset and not a liability, and you know, things will be a lot better out for you.
That's what's up, man. Man, I got some game today. Thought I was game type, but you know, hey, and I always learn. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all learn too. But I definitely did. Man, I appreciate you coming through this thing, man. Any closing words, anything?
I like what y'all doing, man. Keep up, keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep giving independent artists some light, man. Anytime you need me, you know what I'm saying, I'm here, man. So, you know, shouts out to Southern Flame TV, man. Keep doing your thing. All right.
Sideways to the next episode.
From the door, shouted getting tipsy and my niggas smoking drugs. Ladies shaking ass, yeah, they headed to the floor. Hands falling from the ceiling, yeah, we about to go some more. I'm flawless, the rich kid, I'm too high, I'm a twilight. Got aviators up on my face, I tinted up my eyesight. Hope everybody fly straight, shit don't crash, yeah, don't fly right. My smoke is purple, my cup is pink, and my pocket's green, and I'm finna stun. Big club rockin', my arm cocked, my fist balled, and I'm finna pun. I'm dark, but they up when they let me hooked up with them boys. These motherfuckers in trouble now, they couldn't say your ass with a STEM card. When I pull up to the club, I be feeling like a star. I be feeling soon as I get out the car, headed to the moon with it in my car. My body full of liquor, so I'm standing on the bar. God damn it, it's the niggas on that plane again, and that dreadhead making your ears ring again. So speeding like they'll never hit a thing again. But who cares? The city need niggas to blame again, and we gon' take it. We giving y'all the tracks to groove. This ain't a dance, this a action. One hand, one move. Shout out to them Westside Battlefield P, what's happening? We eating this bitch. I hope the DJ run this track back again. Ladies do they dance, shake their ass and bounce. I can't really mow here, but my swag is off the hinges. When my jam come on, I roll my sleeves and twist my fitted. Hey, when the beat drop, let me show you how we get it. Buddy walk over in the club, buying bottles from the door. Shouted getting tipsy and my niggas smoking drugs. Ladies shaking ass, yeah, they headed to the floor. Cash falling from the ceiling, now we about to throw some more. Said I don't smoke kush, and I don't sip lane, and I won't let a rapper get a break. Everybody know you're fake, you just wanna be sane. Y'all rappers ain't gangsters, y'all boys ain't thugs. You whack, y'all boys can't rap. Everybody got guns, everybody got drugs. Everybody got a mixtape dropping, everybody talking out of Northside popping. Everybody got a little clique or a crew. When I come through, man, we ain't gon' stop. I done already been there, I done already blown, I done already had a little deal every city that you hit. I done already gone. 24 rappers, 24 clones. Talk about and you talk about zones. Talk about clips and you talk about thongs. Can't make hits cause you can't make songs. I don't like rappers, y'all ain't my equal. Fist pump at a part one, and you best believe that they came to get me for the sequel. Yeah. Shouty getting drunk, she shaking ass, so I just watch her while I fist pump. My block is on, still see him choosing. A mile high, you see this plane, my team ain't never losing. BFBG salute, I swear P going hammer. Plus we too legit, too quick, but I'll be damn, this ain't a slammer. I'm it all the way to the club, back down in your block, speakers on Bammer. Look, mama just gave me a go, so I'm out of Dodge, I'm about to ram her. I'm fist pump the rain, just sweat, about to change the way it's big game. thing that I